Hello, I'm Wesley Harris.
I'm Jeff Smith.
We're the co-founders of John Done. John Done is a telephone voice assistant. He makes and answers calls for you. He navigates phone trees and talks to bots for you. And he can hang out on calls with you in case you need his help. He takes the pain out of talking on the phone. So one example of some pain that I have talking on the phone is that when I need to call and schedule an appointment with my kid's pediatrician, I have to call during business hours, which is the least convenient time for me. And frankly, that's one reason why less important tasks just get put off. I have to navigate a phone tree. I have to wait on hold. And that's just to talk to a human who actually wants to help me. And now summon for you, in your mind the last time that you had to call an airline or the cable company.
That's why 10 weeks ago, we left our jobs at X.AI on a Friday and started building John Done at BetaWorks on a Monday. When we started at X.AI, we were building the tech behind Amy, the artificial intelligence that schedules meetings over email. By the time we left, we were building the team that builds the tech, recruiting and managing dozens of data scientists and engineers. Some recent technical developments convinced us to leave those very good jobs at a very interesting company. What we realized is that there have been these massive improvements in natural language understanding and voice computing due to the hundreds of millions of dollars invested by the tech giants. So we noticed that the building blocks are in place to build one of the last missing APIs, an interface for all of those tasks and all of that information that is trapped behind a phone call. 80% of inquiries to businesses come in via the telephone, but only 30% of customers are happy with their experience of contacting businesses. So while there are a few million smart speakers in existence, there are already more telephones than there are human beings. What we've built is the only AI assistant deployed to a platform with nearly 100% adoption rate.
So we're going to try another live demo. So if I want to buy my wife flowers on our anniversary, I can do that online unless I've waited until the last minute, which I would never do. Until this year, because BetaWorks was keeping us so busy with Voice Camp, I forgot. But luckily, I had access to the John Done beta, which is a Facebook Messenger app that Jeff and I built to allow us to chat with John Done. So what it allows you to do is ask a question of any business. John Done will call the business, get the answer, and then report back to you. I'm going to give it a try. So my wife and I were married on Memorial Day weekend when the peonies were in bloom. So I'm going to ask Dahlia Flowers in Grand Central on my way home if they have peonies. I'm going to have him conference me in, but that's just so that we can hear what's going on the back end. We have lousy reception. Oh, here we go.
Dahlia Flowers.
Hi. I was calling to ask, do you have peonies today?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so unfortunately they don't have the flowers that I want. But he's asking me if he wants me to find a florist who does, so I do want that, please. So what's happening now is John Done is fanning out. He's dialing all the florists in Midtown Manhattan until he finds one that has the flowers that I want today. Now, forget for a minute that in this scenario, I'm too busy to make these calls because, I'm sitting in a meeting at Voice Camp listening to Patrick rhapsodize about Alexa. And imagine how long it would take me if I had to make these calls in series. but John Donne is highly concurrent, and he can gather that information very quickly and at arbitrary scale. And okay, so he's found a place just actually really nearby. Because John Donne is also a learning agent, he gets better at this task every time he does it, and he learns new skills all the time.
So John Donne is out there right now, collecting data for us. Many of these calls are close to transactions, so we think there's a lot of very interesting user intent within the data. But we also want to use this data to teach him new skills to take on more and more complex tasks. We think you should never have to call customer service again. And we're very excited about the prospect of an intelligent agent that assists you as a participant on calls. We want John Donne available everywhere. When you're in your kitchen, on your Echo, on the street, in your phone, at home, but also in the office, where we think becomes very interesting for people who spend the majority of their lives at work on calls.
So we're on a mission to take the pain out of talking on the phone, and we want to do that by putting bots in the hands of consumers instead of the businesses that they have to call. And you can actually help us with that. Please visit johndone.ai and sign up for our beta.
Also, we know that many of you in the audience are investors, and so we would love to get your feedback on the product and discuss our plans for a seed round fundraising. And if any of you are experienced technologists who are excited about the prospect of building something that's never been built before, we'd love to chat with you. So thank you.